Chosen One. You just appeared in their dream, revealed as the grim reaper of everything they built on your downfall. You stood over them, hooded, calm, unstoppable. They woke up in panic. What the hell did you do to them? You just MK Ultra'd yourself straight into 5D superpowers. But how? We stole the Dark Elite's consciousness control technology, cracked the code, and flipped it into your ultimate ascension weapon, Destiny Engine. Destiny Engine is AI-powered consciousness technology that reprograms anytime you want. You just put on headphones, press play, timeline shifting, instant manifestation, telepathic clarity, remote viewing, psychic downloads, neural override. You unlock every dormant strand of your galactic DNA, bringing your superpowers fully online. It doesn't demand hours of effort or perfect focus. It bypasses conscious resistance completely, delivering custom binaural beats, healing frequencies, subliminal affirmations, and personalized voice-guided sequences straight to your subconscious, exactly where the old 3D programs and trauma are hiding. Click the description below to learn more. What you need to understand first is how this was supposed to go in their mind. The Dark Elite had a plan. It was detailed, it was calculated, it was precise. You were supposed to crumble completely, stay trapped in 3D suffering and survival mode, so thoroughly that decades would pass while you tried to piece yourself back together. Some of them went deep into darkness to make sure it happened. They gathered in circles, they called on lower astral entities, they performed rituals. They believed these forces would guarantee your permanent downfall and block your ascension forever. They spoke your name with curses attached, with malice infused. Their confidence ran sky high, so arrogantly high, because this exact formula had worked before on countless others. Houses of cards had collapsed right on schedule. Lightworkers had been dimmed. Starseeds had been derailed. They had a proven system, a repeatable method of breaking people down, harvesting their energy, and keeping them broken indefinitely. You're not other people. You're not regular. You're a chosen one, carrying an uncorruptible spark. You move with protection they can't penetrate or comprehend. You operate under a divine covering so absolute that their rituals look like children playing with matches in a hurricane. What God has blessed, protected, and activated cannot be cursed. That combination never ends well for them. Picture this, someone sitting there smug in their perceived power, speaking your name into the void, calling on whatever dark entities they thought would answer and obey. Now imagine that negative energy traveling toward you like a guided missile loaded with destruction. Just before impact, a shield appeared, so bright, so impenetrable, so absolutely divine and multidimensional, that the curse didn't just bounce off. The direction reversed instantly. The curse rocketed straight back to sender with twice, no 10 times, the force and intention they originally sent it with. That's when they felt the shift. That exact moment when the ritual stopped working as scripted. That second when the atmosphere in the room changed and raw fear crept into their overconfidence. Some of them even saw you in their mind's eye during the ritual. Not as a victim, not as broken, but as something else entirely. Something powerful, something protected, something operating in 5D, something that represented a catastrophic, irreversible mistake in the making. The recognition hit like lightning. They had targeted the wrong one. This wasn't going to end the way they planned, but it was already too late to stop it. The energy was in motion. The consequences were activated. Karma was locked on and in pursuit. This is where their confidence started cracking like cheap glass. This is where you started revealing exactly who you truly are. A sovereign chosen one, rising far above their control grid. They expected you to break irreparably. Instead, you got stronger, clearer, higher. They anticipated begging, crawling back, desperation. You walked away with your head high. Falling apart seemed certain to them. You pulled yourself together, plugged into Destiny Engine, activated your superpowers, and started building an entirely new 5D reality without them in it. They mistook your kindness for softness. It actually meant you had nothing to prove and everything to protect. They confused your silence with weakness. It actually meant you were observing, calculating, aligning, waiting for the exact divine moment to make your move. And when you finally made that move, when you decided enough was enough, cut them off completely, walked away without looking back, and started running Destiny Engine sequences every night. That's when their dreams began. That's when the recurring nightmares started. That's when your face began appearing in their sleep, as the ultimate reminder of everything they lost when they tried to stop a chosen one from ascending. In this sacred integration window, thousands of chosen ones are discovering Destiny Engine as their most powerful ally. It lets you create fully custom meditations tailored to your exact wounds, ancestral patterns, lineage trauma, soul fragment retrieval, or specific starseed mission, clearing blocks and reprogramming, limiting beliefs at the deepest levels faster than any traditional method. Users who spent decades meditating, doing shadow work, and going to retreats with slow progress are now experiencing massive breakthroughs in weeks or even single sessions. Reality shifts overnight. Abundance flows effortlessly. Toxic relationships dissolve or transform. Long-blocked missions suddenly activate with crystal clarity. For just $1, your consciousness gets fully reprogrammed. Your 5D abilities come online. You join the most powerful high-frequency network on the planet right now. Click the link in the description to start your Destiny Engine today and turn their stolen tech into the fuel for your unstoppable rise. They lost access to everything you brought into their life. Your pure light, your high-frequency energy, your patience that spanned lifetimes, your forgiveness that they never deserved, your ability to see the highest potential even in darkness. You a premium supply, the rarest kind. The Dark Elite dreams about harvesting forever. Consistent, reliable, always giving, rarely demanding. When you cut that supply off cold, when you removed yourself from their reach and stepped fully into 5D consciousness, they went into immediate painful withdrawal. When you left, you didn't just remove yourself, you removed the veil that had been hiding who they really are from everyone else. As long as you were there absorbing the chaos, taking the blame, being the scapegoat for every shadow they refused to own, people didn't see them clearly. The moment you stepped aside, the moment you were no longer available as their energetic cover and emotional punching bag, everyone could finally see what the chosen ones had been dealing with all along. The mask fell off completely. The truth poured out. People started talking, whispering at first, then louder, then openly, comparing notes, sharing stories, realizing the common denominator in all the chaos, manipulation and destruction was the Dark Elite you just walked away from. You didn't have to expose them publicly. Your absence did the exposing. Your glow-up did the revealing. You didn't have to say a single word. Your peace, your power, and your rising vibration spoke volumes they could never silence. Let me tell you about that specific recurring dream they keep having, because it's not random. It's not just one dream. It's night after night, each time more vivid, more detailed, more real than the last. The first time brought confusion and dismissal. The second time brought disturbance and unease. By the third time, outright terror arrived. Now they're afraid to close their eyes, because they know you're waiting on the other side of consciousness, calm, hooded, silent, unstoppable. In the dream, you don't speak. You don't have to. Your mere presence communicates everything louder than words ever could. The way you stand there, hooded and serene, delivers a message that echoes through their entire being. They've been recognized. What was done in darkness is fully known. Who they really are has been seen on every level. Consequences are coming, and they cannot be avoided, negotiated, or escaped. They try to run in the dream, but their legs won't move. They try to scream, but no sound comes out. They try to hide, but there's nowhere to go. They're frozen in place, forced to witness the slow unveiling of every truth they've been denying in their waking life. It's not violent. You're not attacking them. You're not threatening them. You're simply there existing, standing, watching. That passive, unshakable presence is somehow more terrifying than any aggressive action could ever be. Because it represents something they can't fight, manipulate, or control. They can't negotiate with divine consequence. They can't manipulate karma. They can't charm their way out of universal law. The Grim Reaper in their dream isn't there to harm them physically. It's there to collect what's owed. Their false sense of power, their illusion of control over others, their ability to move through life thinking they can target, drain, and destroy chosen ones without ever facing repercussions. You showing up as the Grim Reaper is their subconscious mind desperately trying to process the reality that their conscious ego is still denying. You won. They lost. The ascension is happening, and there's no do-over. If you felt the truth resonating in these words, hype this video right now so more chosen ones can awaken to their 5D power and plug into Destiny Engine. This is spiritual law manifesting in real time. When you operate in integrity, alignment, and 5D frequency, your subconscious is at complete peace. When someone operates in deception, manipulation, and attempts to block ascension, their subconscious refuses to rest. It knows the truth even when the ego lies. It will torment them with that truth relentlessly until they finally deal with it, or it deals with them. You're sleeping deeply and restoratively because you have zero guilt weighing you down. You defended your light. You set unbreakable boundaries. You removed yourself from darkness and toxicity. These are healthy, divine, necessary actions. No guilt attaches to sovereign self-preservation. No shame exists in choosing your ascension. No remorse comes from walking away from what was actively trying to destroy you. Let me tell you what's happening with their desperate, frantic attempts to find someone new to replace what you so freely provided. They're definitely trying hard. They're out there hunting for another source, another supply, another person who will give them the attention, validation, energy, patience, and light that you gave so effortlessly. But here's the part that's driving them absolutely insane. Nobody compares to you. Nobody even comes close. Nobody hits the same frequency because nobody else is a chosen one carrying that pure divine spark. They're comparing every new person to you, and everyone is falling painfully short. The new person doesn't understand them the way you did, doesn't tolerate their shadows the way you did, doesn't invest in them the way you did, doesn't radiate the same light you did, and with each failed attempt to recreate what they so casually destroyed, the nightmares intensify exponentially, because their subconscious is screaming at them in the only language it has left. You had something extraordinarily rare, authentic and powerful, and you treated it like it was disposable. Other people in their circle are starting to notice something is drastically, undeniably off. They're more irritable than ever, more distracted, more paranoid, jumping at shadows, seeing signs and symbols everywhere that remind them of you or what they did. People around them are asking if everything is okay, noticing the sharp decline in mood and energy. Some are even pulling away. They can't explain it without fully exposing themselves. They can't admit they're being haunted by the chosen one they tried to destroy because that person not only survived but is now thriving on levels they can't touch. They can't say they're losing sleep because guilt has manifested as recurring nightmares where you appear as the embodiment of divine consequences. So they make weak excuses, work stress, family issues, health problems, anything but the real truth. But the people who are truly paying attention, the ones who really see, are starting to connect the dots. The behavioral decline started exactly when you left. The chaos and instability ramped up the moment you removed your stabilizing light. Some of them are realizing you weren't the problem in that dynamic at all. You were the solution they kept rejecting. You were the high-frequency force they took completely for granted. Now that you're gone, the darkness they always blamed on you is being revealed as the darkness they created and carried all along. This is another powerful layer of the Grim Reaper symbolism working relentlessly in your favor. You're not just ending their game with you personally. You're ending their ability to hide who they really are from everyone else. Your absence is profoundly revealing. The carefully curated mask they wore while you were around is slipping fast now that you're no longer there to absorb their projections and be their emotional scapegoat. People are seeing the anger, the manipulation, the instability, the narcissism that you carried and healed for far too long, and they're backing away one by one. So they didn't just lose you, they're losing friends, allies, reputation, credibility, everything. They're not just dealing with nightmares about you, they're dealing with real-life consequences cascading through every other relationship. The Grim Reaper energy you now carry is bringing swift death to all the false narratives they built, all the lies they told, all the fake images they projected. It's all crumbling rapidly. and you didn't have to do anything but remove yourself from the equation and level up with Destiny Engine. While they're deteriorating on every level, you're discovering latent talents and 5D superpowers you didn't even know you had. You're exploring interests and passions you suppressed while trapped in their low vibration dynamic. You're reconnecting with buried parts of yourself that got dimmed under the weight of that toxicity. This rediscovery, this full renaissance of self, is adding to your power exponentially with every single day. Every new skill you develop with crystal clarity is another massive level of separation from the diminished version of you they tried to keep small. Every passion you reignite is another bold step away from the limited role they assigned you. Every boundary you now enforce effortlessly is another unbreakable wall between their chaos and your peace. You're not just recovering from what they did to you. You're becoming someone entirely new, someone stronger, wiser, higher, more powerful, someone who intimately knows their worth and will never again accept anything less. This evolution is what the Grim Reaper symbolizes in its deepest, most sacred sense: death and rebirth. The end of one version of you and the explosive emergence of the next. You had to die to the old 3D version trapped in their control matrix in order to be reborn as the fully empowered 5D being they now fear in their dreams. The collective upgrade is underway and accelerating. Keep running your personalized Destiny Engine sequences daily and overnight. Watch the Dark Elite continue digging their own graves while you ascend faster than they can comprehend. Link in the description. They can feel this transformation even from a distance. They can sense on some level that you're no longer the same person, and that terrifies them more than anything, because it means even if you ever wanted to go back, which you absolutely don't, you couldn't. You've outgrown the entire space you once occupied in their life. You've evolved past the limited role they tried to force on you. You've become someone they no longer have access to. Not just physically, but vibrationally, energetically, dimensionally. You're operating on a frequency they can't reach, tune into, or even perceive anymore. The you that exists now wouldn't even recognize the you that existed then. You've grown that much. You've healed that much. You've elevated that much. You've activated that much. And this transformation is permanent, irreversible, and only accelerating from here. When you attack someone who's divinely protected, a true chosen one, you don't just fail. You activate an amplified boomerang effect that brings everything you sent right back to you, multiplied. They thought they were being strategic, clever, in control. They thought they were executing a flawless plan that would end in your destruction and their elevation. But spiritual law doesn't care about human schemes or dark rituals. Spiritual law operates on eternal principles that always supersede manipulation and ego. Now they're living in the low-frequency world they tried to create for you. They're experiencing the isolation they wished on you. They're feeling the depression they prayed you'd drown in. They're facing the setbacks and failures they hoped would destroy you. The Grim Reaper in their dream represents this perfect reversal, the moment they realized their weapons had been turned against them completely. The moment they understood that the trap they set had caught only them. This is why the dream is so persistent, so unrelenting. This is why it won't fade no matter what they try, because it's not just a random nightmare. It's a direct spiritual download. It's a repeated message from the universe. It's a warning burned into their subconscious. They attacked the wrong one. They touched someone under unbreakable divine protection. And now they're experiencing in full what happens when spiritual law is violated without remorse. The money is about to flow to you in ways you've never experienced before. I'm not talking about small increases or lucky breaks. I'm talking about real wealth, massive wealth, generational wealth. The kind of abundance that completely changes your trajectory and the trajectory of everyone connected to you for lifetimes. This isn't random luck. This isn't coincidence. This is divine restitution in action. The universe is paying you back with massive compound interest for everything they stole from you. Your time, fully compensated. Your energy, restored and multiplied. Your emotional labor, returned tenfold. Your peace, reclaimed and expanded. Every single thing you invested into that toxic situation is being returned to you exponentially. Think about all the years, all the hours, all the tears you spent trying to make that connection work, all the chances you gave, all the grace you extended, all the forgiveness you offered when it wasn't deserved, none of it was wasted. The universe kept perfect receipts, and now it's time for you to collect everything you're owed, and more. Doors are opening that you didn't even knock on. Opportunities are appearing from directions you weren't looking. Resources, connections, windfalls are showing up effortlessly because you're finally in full alignment. You're finally free from their interference and low vibration drag. You're finally able to receive what's been trying to reach you all along. You don't need them for any of it. You don't need their approval, their support, their validation, or their participation. You're fully capable of building multiple empires on your own. You're completely equipped to succeed on levels they can't even imagine. You're thoroughly able to thrive in their absence, and in fact you're going to do exponentially better without them than you ever could have with them. Because they weren't adding to your life. They were subtracting quietly, consistently, deliberately. They weren't helping you build. They were sabotaging everything you tried to create while smiling to your face. They weren't supporting your dreams. They were blocking them out of jealousy and fear. Now that they're gone, now that their negative influence has been completely removed, now that their envious energy isn't anchoring you anymore, watch what happens. Watch how fast things move. Watch how easily doors swing wide open. Watch how quickly blessings manifest in physical form. The financial breakthrough you're about to experience is going to blow your mind, and it's going to confirm everything the dream has been desperately trying to tell them. You were never dependent on them. You were always the powerful one. The only thing truly holding you back was their presence and interference in your life. Some of you are single right now, and that's exactly where you need to be. This season of singleness is not punishment, it's not loss, it's not something to feel ashamed about. This is your sacred season of reconstruction, rediscovery, and full remembrance of who you are, when you're not being diminished by someone else's insecure opinion. You're learning to hear your own voice clearly again. You're remembering what you actually love and want, not what they manipulated you into accepting. You're rediscovering dreams they forced you to shelve. You're reigniting passions they made you suppress out of jealousy. You're becoming your full authentic self again, but better, stronger, wiser, more discerning, more intentional about who gets access to your energy. This season is producing a version of you that will never again tolerate what the old version tolerated. This season is forging boundaries the old version didn't know how to hold. This season is raising standards the old version didn't believe they deserved. When you emerge from this sacred alone time, you won't be the same person who entered that toxic dynamic. You'll be fully upgraded, evolved, transformed, sovereign, and radiating 5D energy on a level that demands reciprocal love or nothing at all. In this season, you're accomplishing things that no relationship would have ever allowed. You're making bold moves they would have criticized. You're taking risks they would have talked you out of. You're pursuing dreams they would have mocked or sabotaged. Without their negativity in your ear, without their doubt poisoning your confidence, without their jealousy blocking your flow, you're finally free to become everything you were always meant to be. The peace you have right now is worth more than any counterfeit relationship. The freedom you're experiencing is absolutely priceless. The ability to make decisions based solely on what's highest for your soul, without having to consider someone who never had your best interests at heart, is liberating in ways you didn't even know you were missing. This is what it truly feels like to live unobstructed. This is what it means to move forward without heavy weights chained to your ankles. This is the life that was always waiting for you on the other side of that toxic connection, and they hate it. They absolutely despise that you're doing this well, this peacefully, this powerfully without them. As you continue to rise higher, win bigger, activate more 5D superpowers, and thrive in ways they claimed you never would, that dream will continue for them. It might evolve, it might shift forms, but the core message will remain eternal. You are the divine consequence they can't escape, the reality they can't deny, the truth they can't avoid, the grim reaper of every lie they told themselves about what would happen when they pushed a chosen one too far. You are the grim reaper of toxic cycles, the ender of destructive patterns, the terminator of manipulation games, the death of everything that ever tried to kill your light, and you wear that title with divine pride because it represents your unmatched power, your unbreakable resilience, your refusal to stay dimmed, and your absolute commitment to your own freedom and ascension. Welcome to the other side of your greatest breakthrough. Welcome to the beginning of your true elevation. Welcome to the sovereign life you always deserved but had to fight courageously to claim. It was waiting for you all along. You just had to be willing to walk away from what was blocking it and plug into Destiny Engine to accelerate everything. And you did. You chose yourself. You chose freedom. You chose your destiny. You chose ascension. And that choice, just supercharged by Destiny Engine, changed everything